Hello guys, today we're gonna talk about Ethereum. Ethereum is a cryptocurrency. It's a decentralized open source blockchain with a smart contract functionally is the native cryptocurrency of the platform among cryptocurrencies. Ether is the second only to Bitcoin in market capitalization. Ethereum was conceived in 2013 by programmer Vitalik Buterin. Additional founders of the Ethereum included Gavin Wood, Charles Hoskinson, Anthony D. Lorio, and Joseph Lubin. In 2014, crowd-funded development work began, went live on 13 July 2015. Ethereum allows anyone to deploy permanent and immutable decentralized applications onto it, with which user can interact. Decentralized finance applications provide a broad array of financial services without the need for typical financial intermediaries like brokerage, exchangers, or banks, such as allowing cryptocurrency users to borrow against their holdings or lend them out of interest. Ethereum also allows users to create and exchange NFTs, which are unique tokens representing ownership of an associated asset of privilege, as recognized by any number of institutions out of interest. Ethereum also, additionally, many other cryptocurrencies operate as ERC20 tokens on top of the Ethereum blockchain and have utilized the platform for initial coin offerings. A series of upgrades called Ethereum 2.0 includes a transition to proof of stake and aims to increase transactions throughput by using sharding. Ethereum was initially described in late 2013 in a white paper by Vitalik Buterin, a programmer and co-founder of Bitcoin magazine, that described a way to build a decentralized application. Buterin argued to the Bitcoin core developers that Bitcoin and blockchain technology could benefit from other applications besides money and that it needed a more robust language for application development that could lead to attaching real-world assets such as stocks and property to the blockchain. In 2013, Buterin briefly worked with eToro CEO Yoni Asiya on the Colored Coins project and drafted its white paper outlining additional use cases for blockchain technology. However, after failing to gain agreement on how the project should proceed, he proposed the development of a new platform with a more robust scripting language, a Turing-complete programming language, that would eventually become Ethereum. Ethereum was announced at the North American Bitcoin Conference in Miami in January 2014. During the conference, Gavin Wood, Charles Hoskinson, and Anthony DeLorio rented a house in Miami with Buterin, at which they could develop a fuller sense of what Ethereum might become. DeLorio invited friend Joseph Lubin, who invited reporter Morgan Peck to bear witness. Peck subsequently wrote about the experiment in Wired. 6 months later, the founders met again in Zug, Switzerland, where Buterin told the founders that the project would proceed as a non-profit. Hoskinson left the project at that time and soon after founded IOHK, the blockchain company responsible for Cardano. Ethereum has an unusually long list of founders. Anthony DeLorio wrote Ethereum was founded by Vitalik Buterin, myself, Charles Hoskinson, Mihai Alisi, Amir Chetrin, into December 2013. Joseph Lubin, Gavin Wood, and Jeffrey Wilk were added in early 2014 as founders. Buterin chose the name Ethereum after browsing a list of elements from science fiction on Wikipedia. He stated, I immediately realized that I liked it better than all of the other alternatives that I had seen. I suppose it was the fact that sounded nice and it had the word either, referring to the hypothetical invisible medium that permeates the universe and allows light to travel. Buterin wanted his platform to be the underlying and imperceptible medium for the application running on of it. Ethereum founding story and members are extensively featured in the 2021 book The cryptopians' idealism, greed, lies, and making of the first big cryptocurrency craze. Author Laura Shin document exciting and sometimes tense situations involving the project's founding, the first ever DIO, and the cryptocurrency craze of 2017. Formal development of the software underlying Ethereum began in early 2014 through a Swiss company, Ethereum Switzerland. The idea of putting executable smart contracts in the blockchain needed to be specified before the software could be implemented. This work was done by Gavin Wood, then the Chief Technology Officer, in the Ethereum Yellow Papers that specified the Ethereum virtual machine. Subsequently, a Swiss non-profit foundation, the Ethereum Foundation, was founded. Development was founded by an online public crowd sale from July to August 2014, in which participants bought the Ethereum Value Token with another digital currency Bitcoin. While there was early praise for the technical innovations of Ethereum, questions were also raised about its security and scalability. Several codenamed prototypes of Ethereum were developed over 18 months in 2014 and 2015 by the Ethereum Foundation as part of their Proof of Concept series. Olympic was the last prototype and public beta pre-release. The Olympic network gave users a bug bounty of 25,000 Ether for stress testing the Ethereum blockchain. In July 2015, Frontier marked the official launch of the Ethereum platform, and Ethereum created its Genesis block. Since the initial launch, Ethereum has undergone several planned protocol updates, which are important changes affecting the underlying functionality and/or incentive structures of the platform. Protocol upgrades are accomplished by means of a hard fork. In 2016, a decentralized autonomous organization called the DAO, a set of smart contract development on the platform, raised a record US 150 million in a craft sale to fund the project. The DIO was exploited in June 2016 when US 50 million of DIO tokens were stolen by an unknown hacker. The event sparked a debate in the crypto community about whether Ethereum should perform a contentious hard fork to reappropriate the affected funds. This resulted in the network splitting into two blockchains: Ethereum with the theft reverse and Ethereum Classic, which continued on the original chain. The hard fork created a rivalry between the two networks. After the hard fork, Ethereum subsequently forked twice in the fourth quarter of 2016 to deal with the other attacks. In March 2017, various blockchain startups, research groups, and Fortune 500 companies announced the creation of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance with 30 founding members. By May 2017, the non-profit organization had 116 enterprise members, including Consensus, CMI Group, Cornell University Research Group. By July 2017, there were over 150 members in the alliance, including MasterCard, Cisco Systems, Sberbank, and Scotiabank. In January 2018, Ethereum was the second largest cryptocurrency in terms of market capitalization behind Bitcoin. As of 2021, it maintained that relative position after the Constantinople upgrade on February 2019. There were two network upgrades made within a month late in the year: in Istanbul on 8 December 2019 and Muir Glacier on 2nd January 2020. In 2019, Ethereum Foundation employee Virgil Griffith was arrested by the US government for presenting at a blockchain conference in North Korea. He would later plead guilty to the charge in 2021. In March 2021, Visa Inc. announced that it began settling stablecoin transactions using Ethereum. In April 2021, JP Morgan Chase, UBS, and MasterCard announced that they were investing US 65 million into Consensus, a software development firm that builds Ethereum-related infrastructure. There were two network upgrades in 2021. The first was Berlin, implemented on 14 April 2021. The second was London, which took effect on 5th August. The London upgrade included a Ethereum improvement proposal, a mechanism for reducing transaction fee volatility. The mechanism caused a portion of the Ether paid in transaction fees for each block to be destroyed rather than given to the miner, reducing the inflation rate of the Ether and potentially resulting in periods of deflation. On 27 August 2021, the blockchain experienced a brief fork that was the result of clients running different incompatible software versions. Open source development is currently underway for a major upgrade to Ethereum known as Ethereum 2.0 or ETH2. The main purpose of the upgrade is to increase transaction throughput for the network from the current rate of about 15 transactions per second to up to tens of thousands of transactions per second. This is accomplished by splitting the workload into many blockchains running in parallel and then having them all share a common consensus proof of stake blockchain, so that to maliciously tamper with any singular chain would require one to tamper with the common consensus, or which would cost the attacker far more than they could gain from an attack. Ethereum is a non-hierarchical network of computers that build and come to a consensus on an ever-growing series of blocks, or batches of transactions, known as the blockchain. Each block contains an identifier of the chain that must precede it if the block is to be considered valid. Whenever a node adds a block to its blockchain, it executes a transaction in the block in the order they are listed, thereby altering the ETH balances and other storage values of the Ethereum accounts. These balances and values, collectively known as the state, are maintained on the node separately from the blockchain in a Merkle tree. Each node communicates with a relatively small subset of the network, its peers. Whenever a node wishes to include a new transaction in the blockchain, it sends a copy of the transaction to each of its peers, who then send a copy to each of their peers, and so on. In its way, it propagates throughout the network. Certain nodes, called miners, maintain a list of all of these new transactions and use them to create the new blocks, which they send to the rest of the network whenever a node receives a block. It checks the validity of the block and of all of the transactions certain, and if it finds the block to be valid, adds it to the blockchain and executes all of those transactions. Since block creation and broadcasting are permissionless, a node may receive multiple blocks competing to be the successor to a particular block. The node keeps track of all of the valid chains that result from this and regularly drops the shortest one. According to the Ethereum protocol, the longest of multiple competing chains is to be considered the canonical one.